Hello, everyone. It's Kathy Colaiacovo with pepperitmarketing.com. And today I'm going to expand on a recent article I wrote on using Calendly to book your appointments online and give people a link and save time on back and forth emails. It's one of those big things that a lot of entrepreneurs find they waste time on, is doing the back and forth emails to get somebody booked in their calendar. Now, there are lots of different calendar systems out there online. The one I've used after trying several is Calendly, Calendly.com, and we'll go to that in a second here. But it is one of those ones that I love. I've tried other ones. There's lots out there: Acuity, Schedulicity, Time Trade. I like this one for the price. It's $10 a month, and I like how it connects to your online calendar so that everything can talk together seamlessly, and it's very easy to use for the client as well. So what I'm going to do today is show you how I set up my system so that I don't miss out on what times I've set aside to book as open times that people can book in, and so that I don't get cross bookings, which can sometimes happen and be a problem when you do an online calendar system, is that you forget to put something in and that leaves an open time in your online booking calendar system. So you want to make sure that you've got these things all set up really smoothly, and that's what I'm going to show you here today. So I'm going to walk you through a couple things. First off, I use Google Calendar, and I do have it set up with different color codes and different calendars you can see over here. So I have, red is my typical business stuff. Blue is home or family things. Orange is typically my team meetings with my clients. And then the gray is actually a calendar I've created for I actually call it Time Driver, which shows you how long ago this was, because that was a calendar system I used years ago. So what I do with this, with the Time Driver one, so I have an extra calendar in here, and if you don't know how to do this with Google or Outlook, you can have different calendars so that when you're booking them, you can say whether it is an automatic blocking of time, and then you know by the color. For me, I know by the color what kind of work I'm going to be doing with this. So with this Time Driver one, basically what it is, I've set these off. You can see I have consults and I have meet me times. And I have these throughout the week. I don't have them on Monday because I don't leave any times open for that Monday. And I do Friday only in the morning, because Friday afternoons are when I work on my business. So these times that I have set up, we'll just look at one here so I can show you what it looks like. So I've got the time set up, I've got the date, it's a repeat, it's weekly, every Wednesday from 10 to 12, and then I have it on Time Driver, and the color there is this gray color. These are the times that I have booked aside for strategy sessions, either with clients or longer sessions when I'm booking them with other people for one-on-one marketing strategy. Consults are when I offer 15-minute appointments for people looking to have a quick consult with me. Okay, so I have them set out in different times, and I have them set out here. So like consults, I'm open for an hour on Thursdays. On Tuesdays, though, I'm only open for half hour, so there's only 2 spots there. The reason that I keep these spots in here is they are what I've connected to my calendar system and what I've made as the open booking times there. I just want to know that if I'm going to take a time, I know what I'm taking. So for instance, here, I have a training that I'm doing on this Wednesday. I also have open time on my calendar then. When I book this in here, I know that I'm blocking off the time on that day for those open sessions. And the reason I like to do this is so that if I send somebody to my calendar, I know that there's going to be open times or not. So for instance, yesterday I was out planning to be out at my son's graduation. So I booked the entire day off. So even all the times are here, I had it booked off there. This week that we're looking at here, I'm actually booked off because we have a family wedding and it's Thanksgiving as well. So I have made sure that no one can book for me on Tuesday the 9th because I know what my schedule is going to be like. So when I do something like that, I actually go in and I'll book. So I booked off from the 7th to the 9th. I considered myself busy. You have to watch some calendars. When you try to book all day, they might say, are you going to be free? So you have to make sure that you've marked it as busy so that it gets taken out of your online booking system. And I'm going to show you that in a second. I just wanted you to understand how I've got things set up on the calendar side, so I always know what time spots I have set up in my calendar system. So if I send someone there, I know that they have a chance to get a time in there. I don't want to send them to something. I know I sent somebody last week and I just said, you know, I am out of the office until the 10th. So if you go to look, there won't be a spot open until after the 10th. So you have to be clear on that with people, and you need to know. And for me, this is the easiest and fastest way for me to always understand what's going on there. And in fact, right here, I can see an issue here because this session is one that I usually make as my orange. Because this is when I meet with my team. We actually changed this time. So I actually have to go into my Calendly and make sure I change this time as well, because I don't want to, I'm having a weekly meeting with one of my team members. That's going to automatically take a half hour. So 2 consults or a half hour of this time off. So this time slot's never going to be open. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually move it to this time, and I'm going to change and edit it here on my calendar in the system. So we won't forget, and I'll show you how you do that. So how this works, Calendly is the system that I use. So I have 2 different calendars in it. I'm going to just show you the event types that I have here. So I have consults, which are 15 minutes, and I have marketing strategy sessions, which are 60 minutes. I have these 30 minutes, but I don't typically use them. So if I'm going to look at the consults and want to set them up and get it going and set it out, this is where I would go into that event type. And this is the big thing you want to look for when you're looking for a calendar system, is you want to look for an event type option. So I have 2 event types that I have set up. I have my consults and I have my strategy sessions, and they're different amounts of time. To me, an online calendar system is not very helpful if you can't have different event types. I don't want to have to send people always to a spot where the only time that they can book with me is an hour if I'm only looking to book 15 minutes for a consult. So when you're choosing a system, look for having different event types to make sure that you've got that option to have the different events that you can set up. So I have 2 links that I typically share with people. I have my consult link and I have my strategy session link. And those are the ones that show them what's available. So with my consult link, they're 15 minutes. So this is where you would go in, and most systems will have something like this where you can go in and you can update and you can change things and you can edit them and say what's going to happen when people book here. So what event is this for? This is for the consult. When can they book them? So this is the big thing. They can book them for 15, 30. And if you wanted to do, I know a lot of people in private practice might do 50 minutes. So you could do a custom one here. Can they schedule them? How long ahead can they schedule them? 30 days is what I've got. Time zones, it puts your time zone, and your invitees can see their own time zone, which I think is really important. Then you have the availability. So this is where you go in and you say, these are the times that people can book on these dates with me. So that's the key thing that's important to note, is that you can go in and you can edit and adjust these. Okay, so this is where you would go in here, and I don't want these secret, so I want them to be set up there and have all set up in there. So once you've got that piece done, you can hit close on there. You can ask questions. So I ask name and email, what's the main thing they want to discuss, that type of thing. So I get the information from them, and I don't need an email from them to get that information. Then I've got a notifications and cancellation policy. So I do have an email confirmation that they get. I get a notification as well. And I also put a reminder in there. I don't do text reminders, but I do have an email reminder in there, and I have it personalized and it's set to go on. So that type of thing as well can be set up there. And you can personalize all of these so you can make it say what you need it to say. Then there's a confirmation page. So I just use the Calendly one, but if you wanted to use a special page on your website, you could do that as well by using their custom link. And if you wanted to collect payments, If you want to upgrade your account, you would have to have another upgrade. And they offer the options with Stripe and PayPal. So I know some people, especially in the, I work with a lot of dietitians and health professionals, sometimes your sessions, there is a minimum fee. So with this, you would be able to set it up and put that fee in there as well. And then you can see what it looks like live. So when people come to this link that I give them, which is this link right here, calendly.com/KathyC, which was the username I set up, and /consult. This is what they're given, and it shows what days things are open or not. So on the Wednesday, it shows that I've got these spots. So if they wanted to pick one of those times, they click on it, confirm, enter their information, sends them an email reminder, sends me an email reminder, and I know they're all booked. Then what it does as well, and I'll actually show you because we'll just do a quick, I'll just do a quick test here just to show you what happens on the other side. So I'm going to schedule the event. I'm not going to add it to my calendar because it's actually mine, but I'm going to show you what it would do from the other side. So typically in here, within a few seconds, it will actually go in there and connect and book off and tell me what time that was booked. And I think I did it on the 10th. Yep, so right here now. So I've gone from just having the consults there to now having this appointment booked, and it's got all the information in there, and this is the information they see on the other side as well, okay? Now, if I wanted to cancel this, I could go in and delete it and cancel it out. As the other person, I would get an email that has a link to it, so I can actually go to it if I need to change the time. And when somebody goes in and changes that time, then they actually, the system will send them an email and send me an email as well, saying this time was canceled, but you have a new one set up here. And the person on the other end actually has the option to even indicate why they had to change the time. And then you get an email that goes in there. So that's a really big part of the setup. And that's why what I do when I do this gray time calendar that I've got here, it allows me to keep track and know what I'm doing and know what I'm taking off as availability over on the other side. So that's why I have this sort of fake calendar set up here, so that I know what I've got for space as open times in the calendar, so that when I send somebody there, I know that they're going to get that spot or not. The other thing that you can do with this, and it's fairly new with Calendly, is they've created actually now a Chrome extension here, which is kind of neat. If you click the Chrome extension, it opens up and it shows you all of your different links that you've got there. And if you wanted to create an ad hoc meeting, you could. But if you're, say, emailing somebody and they ask for a meeting with you, and you don't have it, I mean, some people will put this link actually in their email signature. I don't do that. But a quick and easy way to get that link and copy it back out is just to copy there and put it into the email that you're going to use. I used to just always have it in a text doc somewhere, or I would save it in a file, or I would just go into a new browser window and start to type in Calendly till I found the link that I wanted for my calendar. And then I would, let me just show you what I would have done here. So I'd grab this here. I would see the consult one that I had. I would click on it and it would show up. Now, one trick when you want to send things, a link to people, because I'm looking today on October 3rd, it adds this URL into the URL. So you would only ever share. So this is my link that I give people for this. And it's part of what I set up based on the consult name. And so that gives all the information here, and it tells me how I can save the event link. So you can change that to whatever you want it. That's what I have it set to, is just the consult part. And that's why I kind of like this Chrome extension over here, because it just gives you all those spots just easily to get and grab to use. So once people go in and book, then they can, you know, they get all the confirmation. So the whole point of a system like this, whether you use Calendly or whether you use Acuity, Schedulicity, Time Trade, whatever might be out there, the point is you want to really make sure that you have your calendar system set up so that you know what spots you have open And then you make sure that you go and put your availability in here as being what you can have open or not. So for this one, for consults, I'm open from 10 to 10:30 and 3:30 to 4. And that can be applied to all Tuesdays, whatever it might be. So you just go in there and set all of those up. And then if you want to take a peek at it, you can look at what you've got set up in there. That's the one extra thing I think a lot of people don't think about, is actually setting up sort of a fake calendar within your own, so you always know what you've got open as available times in the online booking calendar, so that you're not constantly taking time away from your online open spots. And the reason you don't want to be doing that is because if people are indeed booking with you on a regular basis and there's no spots available, you're either not going to get the consults booked, or you're going to end up having people email you back and say, well, there's nothing open for me until 3 weeks from today, and that doesn't help me. So you want to make sure that you have a good handle on it, and that's why I set up this sort of fake calendar in my system here. The spots are all open, so I don't have them booked off as busy, but it's just an indicator to me that, hey, Kathy, these are the times that you've marked yourself open. Don't use too many of them so that you don't have too many closed off sessions on your open calendar. So I hope that makes sense on how you can set up a calendar, link it and sync it with your online booking system to make the best out of it, and make sure that you give as many open times as possible to people so that they're not getting frustrated and either not booking with you or going back to the old habit of, taking 10 emails back and forth to get a time booked. And again, I always sort of check and test it, and I look and I check and I make sure. Now, what have we got going here? I've noticed here that the 17th, 18th, and 19th, I always take a look at this every month, and I look at it to check. Well, I'm actually away at an event there. So that's my reminder to go in here and to go and book all of this time off. So I've got my flight in here. I'm going to just sort of, I'll leave my flight here. What I'll do is I'll go and do my booked, which is what I typically do. So I go in, I make make up an event in here, and I make it for a certain amount of days. So I'm going to do it till I'm away. I'm going to mark myself as busy. So it's basically showing that I'm gone October 14th, and I will put it out here. Whoops, it's not the 14th that I'm gone on the 16th. And till the 23rd, and I'll hit save, and now I'll have this booked one in here. So then when I go back here, and this is actually how quick this can be, those spots should not be showing now, and they're not, because I'm not available those days. So that is how you can best optimize a setup with an online calendar system. I hope this helps you understand how to do that. My little twisted brain of creating the fake calendar in here is very helpful, I find. And hopefully that will help you out as well. I hope you've enjoyed this system on how to use an online calendar and booking system to make sure you're saving time. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask me on my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/pepperatmarketing, or you can always go to pepperatmarketing.com/blog and check out the latest and newest articles there as well. Enjoy your day and happy online booking.